Hey everybody and welcome to Envision OPG. My name's Kevin Shelton. As always, here to give you a full deck profile. It's the deck that I took to our locals at Card Addicts and took first place. I had a lot of fun playing this deck. It's probably my favorite deck because it's my main deck. It's the one I've been playing the longest. I really enjoy it. It's super aggro. It's super easy to learn. I think it's great for beginners as well. Without further ado, let's hop into this deck profile. This is a great mat given to me. Not given to me, but Jose let me borrow this mat. I appreciate it. There's the alt art Zoro. We love that. Oh, let me turn the volume down. I am doing a voiceover. I prefer to do the voiceovers because the quality is better. It sounds better. So, let's hop into this thing. Zoro, the leader. If you give him a Don card, the rest of your characters get 1,000 power. Pretty simple, but it allows you to hit for really good numbers. To build this deck, you will need a couple of Straw Hat Luffy starter decks. I think they're about $60, but while we're on the topic of it, I'm doing a starter deck giveaway at 25 subs, 50 subs, and 100 subs. So who knows? Maybe I'll have a Luffy one to give when the time comes. Zoro is a mono red 5 life character. And I think for beginners, he's probably the easiest to learn. I run 2 Shanks. I've seen a lot of lists that run more than 2 Shanks. Shanks ignores blockers with less than 2k power. So all the 1-drop blockers that are really weak, it essentially overrides. This is the best game ender in the deck, I think, is the 5-drop Luffy. Luffy, when you have 2 Don on him, he becomes an 8k unblockable, so they can't use blocker characters. And they have to essentially guard from hand. Uda, I run 2 Uda because I like recycling. She's essentially an on-play character. Get a red card from my graveyard. Frankie is a 4k or 6k 4-drop vanilla. He becomes 7k base with a Don under Zoro. 7's a really good number in the 5. It just promotes the super aggressive red gameplay. 4-drop Law has a 1k counter. The Frankie also has a 1k counter, which is great. 4-drop Law has a 1k counter, but its effect is essentially like Otama, minus 2k to any character. It works really well with Jet Pistol. It just allows me to have more opportunities to out big characters. 3-drop Zoro is a really good card. It has Rush on it. Essentially, that means on play he can swing. He becomes a 6k base with a Don under Zoro. We really like the Zoro cards, and those are some pretty alt arts. Nico Robin is a 3-drop. Don 1, when she attacks, I get to KO an opponent's character with 3,000 power or less. Really good for board control and pressure. Just her presence alone forces your opponent to do things to try to play around it and try to out it before I get the chance to use its ability. It's a really good pressure card. So we like Nico Robin. She is a 4-of staple. Rush Sanji. Sanji is a 2-drop 4k that when you Don 2, he gains Rush. That makes him a 6k. With a Don under your leader, makes him a 7k base. Again, you try to swing odds into odds. 7 into 5 is really, really good. Because I run 3 of those Sanjis, I also run 3 Brook, who's a great 2k counter, so you can use them to counter from hand. But on play, you give 2 rested Don to any of your characters or leader. So I like to play the Sanji, follow that up with the Brook if I have it in hand, give 2 rested Don to my Sanji to give him Rush. So it allows me to attack that turn with Sanji and potentially next turn with Brook. I run 3 of the 2k counter Sanji. That Sanji is a on turn, grab a life card, put 2 rested Don under him, and he gains 2k power. So he essentially becomes a 7k base or an 8k with a Don under your Zoro. So he puts a lot of pressure on. Search Nami is a staple. You got to run 4 of. ideally you'd start with Nami Search, but she's an on play. Check the top 5 cards, grab a straw hat from the 5 cards, put the rest at the bottom of your deck. She just adds cards to hand. I like to use her to get a Zoro or a Luffy. Otama, 2K counter, which is great. On play, she is a minus 2K power to an opponent's character. So this is how you out the 8-drop kid, 7-drop kid, 7-drop king, 6-drop king. This is how you out those guys. I run 4 chopper. Chopper's just a standard blocker. 1 drop. I've seen deck lists that don't have him. I like having him just in case the opportunity arises where I don't have many cards in hand and I want to use a blocker on the field. And then 3 of Nami. This is the rested Don Nami. On play, not on play, activate once, main phase. I get to put a rested Don under any of my characters or leader. So she's essentially free. She gives the 1K power for free. So we really enjoy Nami. Obviously, I run a 4 of Jet Pistol. It's the best event card in the game. 4-drop, KO any character that's 6,000 power or less. Use Otama to minus 2K power to any of your opponent's characters. I'm going to pause right here so you guys can take a picture. But what you do with Otama is you play her minus 2 to like an 8-drop kid. That's an 8,000 power. And then run the Jet Pistol and KO the 8-drop kid is one of the better outs for that card, especially in the red-green matchup, which is already not really good for red. And then I run 2 of the Red Hawk counters. It's a 4K counter, and you get to spam the board a little bit by KOing one of the opponent's characters with 4K power or less. It's also a really good trigger. I've seen it hit in a couple instances, so it's not a bad trigger to hit from your life. But yeah, this is my Zoro deck profile. It's the one I'm most comfortable with, and I've changed it up quite a few times, but I've found that this is far and away the most successful, consistent, I guess, build. So, but while I'm here, I want to thank the team over at Iron City Games. Those guys are fantastic. Anthony Casella, Jose Huscanga, Jarrett Hubbard, all those guys, they're awesome, and they've really helped me out as I've continued to do this endeavor into YouTube. If you have any questions for me, leave a comment. If you have any tips, what your deck list looks like, I'm interested in all these things. Please, if you like the content, make sure you share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and until next time, have a great rest of your day.